Beer making, the lazy man style. Alright, so we got this package here for red ale. It's pretty good stuff. Go through the ingredients later. Got that. Then we got this hefty malt extract. It's pretty crazy stuff. And good old PBW. It's a cleaner. You use it with anything in your house. But it's good for food. It's food grade. That's it. That's the first step. So far, that's all you got to do is just wait. Clean the stuff up and then start brewing. Well, everything is cleaned now using the detergent, the PBW stuff. Now it's time to do pretty much the same exact thing, but with sanitizer. So, I'm gonna use this stuff. This is good. 5-star acid sanitizer for surface sanitization. Alright, fill it up. One of the main cleaning techniques involves getting your fermentation chamber clean. So how we do that is we just get a siphon started, which is easy. You don't have to suck on the other end, you just raise the other end higher and make sure there's lots of water in it and bring it down. Filling up. Looks like a clean operation. Alright, now that everything's all sanitized, time to start cooking. The pot. This is our brew pot. Got about 1.5 gallons of water in there. Just gonna boil it. And right before it starts boiling, I'm gonna start steeping the grains, which I will show you. I skipped ahead a little bit. I put in the grains already. So basically, now I have grain steeping. These are flavor grains. Flavor grains. My steeping apparatus is like this thin mesh, cotton mesh. The water is steeping. It's not boiling. It's not even on. So I'm going to leave it like this for 30 minutes. So just following the ingredients, you'll use priming sugar, thinning pack, Irish moss and gelatin. Got your boiling hops, which I'll put in here pretty soon. And then we got the finishing hops. Maltodextrin kicker! Add with the malt. So these two are going together at the same time. The malt and the kicker. Last but not least, the yeast. This is the most important part of it all. This is what makes alcohol. Okay, so, steeping. Alright, these have been steeping for a while. I'm gonna check them. The grain smells delicious. That's done. It's been steeping for over 30 minutes. So I have here some warm water. It's just tap water. Alright, now the grain has been taken out. It's a nice dark mixture. And gonna bring that up to a boil. And then we're gonna add the malt. Alright, these bags of malt are really tricky. The malt just sticks to the sides, so you gotta like pick a corner and kind of just pull it down. Eventually it'll settle. I just take a razor blade. Oh god. I take a razor blade and start cutting like here, just like that. You gotta be careful not to let the malt reside on the bottom of the pot. Now it's time to add the maltodextrin kicker. What the maltodextrin kicker does is it gives beer better body. So get your maltodextrin kicker. The malt is kind of just sitting at the bottom, so when I turn the heat back on, I want to make sure that everything is mixing well. And my pot is almost completely full, so I'm going to have to keep a really good eye on this so that it doesn't boil over, especially when adding hops. The malt is fully dissolved, and I've returned the wort back to its heat. And I'm just going to keep stirring to make sure that none of the malt is still on the bottom. Don't want it to scorch down there. So just doing this for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to add the hops for boiling. Boiling hops. Always turn down the heat before adding hops to prevent boil over. Whoa. And watch out for incredibly high droplets of boiling temperature water. Ow. It looks really cool. It's turning green. I am going to turn it up just a little bit. I do want to see some kind of frothing action, but definitely don't want to boil over. While you wait for the wort to boil, 45 minutes is a long time. You might as well figure out something to do. Do something useful. Feed yourself. I got beer and chicken. Now look, all you gotta do is wait and eat and drink beer that somebody else made. About another 40 minutes. I'm gonna eat this whole chicken. Just a reminder, always wash your hands after eating and working with beer. You don't want to cross-contaminate. Alright, break time's over. Alright, we got the, it's time. I turned down the heat so we can add the last hops, the finishing hops, and then the Irish moss, which comes in a 2-pack with the gelatin, but the gelatin we use later. And sprinkle it in. Does some cool kind of congealing. Oh, don't breathe it. I don't think it's good to breathe it. And if you hold it too close over the pot like I just did, it tends to get a little bit sticky in the package, so don't do that. I'm going to stir in this Irish moss just a little bit for my own satisfaction. Opening up the last hops. It hurts when it splashes. For about 10 minutes, we'll keep it boiling. And then after that, wort's done. For these last few minutes, I'm gonna leave the top covered and I'm just gonna let it all steam, sterilize. Everything's gonna be a tight unit for a few minutes. And then I'm gonna go get an ice bath ready. I'm just gonna move this sterile unit all the way over to the ice bath. We're just gonna let it sit there and cool for a perfect pitching temperature where we can pitch the yeast. And then we'll... That's what happens. Boiled over. You should clean up your boilovers at least somewhat when they first happen. But I'll help you out later. I guarantee it. Alright, the beer is done. We just add this pot of wort to the bucket of water that I have on the ground, which I will show you. But first I have to take this pot of wort that I just made and I have to drag it over here to the sink. I'm going to put it right there in the sink where I have a little ice bath set up. What we got to do right now is get the yeast going. This takes 15 minutes. 15 minutes to work. So we got to go ahead and suspend this in some water, room temperature, spring water here. Yeah, ants. So don't even stir. Don't stir. Just pour it in and cover it. While the yeast is waiting to fully hydrate, which takes about 15 minutes, I'll go ahead and put the water in this bucket. So I need about 2.5 or 3 gallons in this here bucket. Now I'm going to add this wort here to the fermenter down there, to that water I just poured. To avoid splashing. Oh, never mind. Just let it rip. I'm going to take the temperature of the mixture that we have here and to see if it is within proper pitching temperature. There you go. I inserted the valve. This valve allows air to press down on the water, and the water level changing shows the activity of the metabolism of the organisms within this bucket. When it stops changing so much, it means it's metabolizing less. It means the yeast has lived out its life cycle. About 81. Since the temperature is 81 degrees, I would say that that's within the range of pitching. So I'm not going to wait any longer. So beautiful. That's it. I'll be shaking that up for the next hour. So, but other than that, that's beer. Alright, I'm going to attempt to shake this vigorously for a few minutes. Last thing is just find a nice little place to put this sucker. Tuck it away. And keep an eye on the gauge. And voila. This is a boil over. It's pretty nasty. Yeah, that's it looks like it was in an arson fire. Normal one. Boil over.